I focus more on, I would say, domestic tax structuring than I would on the US based tax structuring.
How is you said you liquidated 401ks and you liquidated, your IRAs and all that kind of stuff to move over. How are the laws different when it comes to tax deferral and so on and so forth with the outside the U.S. markets? What do you what do you do?
So I would say U.S. tax market will be obviously different than what we'd see in Colombia. My main thesis really to come down to Latin America was more towards capital flows and where I saw inefficiency in capital flows. So, for instance, in Hong Kong, when we were talking about buying banks, no one in my circle will be talking about buying banks in Colombia or Mexico or Costa Rica. It just really didn't exist. This part of the world is vastly underdeveloped for, I'd say, that M&A space. I think whereas there is a tremendous amount of opportunity, from a tax perspective down here, I focus more on, I would say, domestic tax structuring than I would on the US based tax structuring. I've worked at PwC where you a lot with tax and thinking about it from a multinational perspective. But, when I first liquidated Roth IRAs and 401ks, the burden to take it on was less to me, and say, if I have to take a tax hit on a 401k and pay taxes up front to withdraw money, rather than do a capital pull and give away half of let's say a startup business or an idea in my head, it was better to start with my own capital. But I would say from more, if you want to focus on tax down here in Colombia, less so with personal taxation would be the structuring. I would work more on the corporate structures. Here in Colombia, they have two tax regimes that I think are really attractive here in Colombia. One is SOMAC, ZOMAC. It was in force about 5 years ago. You could get your taxable burden down about 50 to 75% discount by investing in what they would call underinvested areas of Colombia. I guess it would be similar to what we'd see in the United States and an OPZONE regulation. And the second regulation really down here is called the Orange Economy. It's related to digital companies, media companies, and things like agriculture, where areas of industry the Colombian government is trying to promote, and they'll get your tax rate down to an effective rate of about 9%. So those are the two tax structuring techniques we use, but primarily for in-country taxation.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.